What is it with the sunglasses? Fuck.
This is the same band of this one.
Oh, Mr. Blue Sky.
It's the same band. Okay. Oh!
Oh, I'm not so ready.
What?
Happens every time. Hello and welcome. This is Helia, the Bluehead, and you're hearing Out of Cast, your awesome program completely in English. And I'm here with Julia.
Hi. You just broke my ears.
Well, it's not my fault.
No.
If that's broken, is it broken?
No. The volume was too high, so okay.
Not my fault. Still.
No.
So, today we're here to talk about one of the most visionary directors of our generation today, working still, and he has a very specific style, using epic and very loud music.
Yeah, I don't think it really needs an introduction because as long when you hear his name, you say, "Ah, that's him."
That's
okay,
the guy.
but right before we talk about the one who must not be spoken, we need to remember our contacts, especially on Facebook, where you can find us on Romantic Radio, written with 3 as letters. On Twitter as well, but also you can find us on Instagram with Romantic Radio with the 3 as number, where you can see our photos, our pictures, and our news. But you can also follow our direct and hear us talking about this guy on our website radio.uniromatre.it, and also you can listen to us by the TuneIn Radio application on your mobile by searching Romantic Radio with the 3 as number.
Very cool.
Now,
since his directorial debut in 1998 until now.
Yeah.
Right now, he has made 10 breathtaking and astonishing movies, and currently is working on his 11th movie. We can't simply wait for that. And he may also is known co-working with his brother.
Exactly,
Jonathan.
which he also worked with for Memento as well, but also for another movie. I just spoiled who this guy is by naming one movie.
Thank you.
Let's go.
You just spoiled it. We're here to talk about Christopher Nolan, the amazing director of this generation. Why the tunes never fit?
Don't ask.
Literally never. Is now without any doubt one of the phenomenal movie makers of this generation, as we said. Now certainly same examples of format, narrative, and conceptual complexity of Nolan works could be finding in less seen movies. I mean, how many times have you seen movies like, I don't know, Inception, like Interstellar, the time jumps and continuity stuff, so
I start to realize where his brother took from for Westworld. Hey!
Now, like many, he started his career with short movies, starting in 1989 with Tarantella, then Larceny in 1995, and then came Doodlebug in 1997, which is, I mean, it will F with your mind. Okay. Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay.
Now, finally, we get to his full-length movie. I mean, it will be his directorial debut coming in 1998, Following, which is a story of a simple the plot is pretty simple. It's a story about a man who follows strangers around the streets until he is drawn into a criminal underworld. So, yeah. It's interesting, and the budget was only $6,000.
Well, it was literally nothing.
Literally nothing. And yeah.
and then comes and then comes Memento, which he wrote with his brother as well. A non-linear movie that kind of blows your mind. Leonard Shelby, played by Guy Pearce, has a short-term memory loss, just like Dory, resulting from an injury he sustained, which was associated with the murder of his wife. That's a lot of dead wives.
Not here. Yeah.
And in order to remember stuff, he tattoos names, number, etc. on his bodies or takes snapshot sometimes.
Yeah.
Leonard's mission is to find and kill his wife's murderer.
Yeah.
Color parts are in reverse. In general, the movie is effing with your mind.
Yes, as we said, color parts are in reverse and some parts are in backward. I don't know. It's complicated. You just gotta watch it, okay? Just watch it.
Okay.
As simple as that.
And maybe that's why he has 92% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Now moving on to 2002 with Insomnia. Comes and it's the plot is in Nightmute of Alaska. A 17-year-old resident, Kay Connell, is found murdered. As a favor to local Nightmute police, shift to Los Angeles police detectives Will Dormer, played by Al Pacino, and Hap Eckhart, played by Martin Donovan, are called in to assist the investigation. So that's cop.
Good cop, bad cop. Something he's not dreaming about is that the murderer has contacted him, informing him.
Now, why he's not dreaming? Because he has a sleeping problem, as the name is, insomnia. Okay, and it's turning him a bit delusional. And yeah, that's why. Now he thinks that he's dreaming, although he's not, what's he not dreaming is that the murderer is contacting her.
Okay,
him.
while he believes he's dreaming.
Because he's beginning to get delusional.
No. While, not why. While.
Oh.
Sorry, my fault.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, in this mind-confusing thriller also star Hilary Swank. Welcome back, and Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. His acting choice was really controversial for this movie, and that's why. Not only this, of course, it has 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And here we go.
Now let's get to the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh yeah, come
everyone's
on.
favorite.
Come on.
I know. Of course, to be honest, there's no one on planet that doesn't know about Batman, so there's really no need to explain the plot. Or
No, not at all. No.
Any introduction, anything. So let's just jump into it. In 2005 came Batman Begins. And this movie is the first chapter, or let's say origin story of our hero.
Yes.
Now, the fear of bats for the young Bruce, which is our protagonist, is somehow foreshadowing the events and the plot of the movie. So yeah, basically, the first installment is about fear and how everybody uses that in a bad way, in a negative way,
Exactly.
to gain the power, except for our hero, which is using it for a greater good.
The greater good.
Greater good. Now, in this movie, we witness his growth as a character, which is basically the character arc in the script we always see. Now, he manages to defeat his enemies, which in this case, in this movie, are three. The first one being the Falcon, played by Tom Wilkinson.
I don't remember him.
You don't remember?
No.
That gangster sort of guy.
Okay.
Yeah, with tan suit.
No, I don't
Okay.
remember. Okay.
And then Scarecrow, played by Cillian Murphy. And the last one, but definitely not least, is one of his greatest enemies, also in the comics. And once they were a friend, though, and I'm talking about Ra's al Ghul, which is here played by Liam Neeson. And yeah, it's just awesome.
There are just too many references in these movies, from the theories of Friedrich Nietzsche to Sigmund Freud, to theories about getting into society. Like when he wants to get into the League of Shadows, they ask him, what is it that you're seeking for? The same also almost happens into societies like Freemasons. Anyway, moving on to the technical stuff.
Don't talk about this.
No.
Just move.
Okay. What makes this movie amazing, not just as a superhero movie, but just a movie, is that it's not like any other comic book movies. Sorry, the elements are not unbelievable like previous Batman movies. It's not comedy. It's serious. It's real.
This is serious.
Exactly.
Yeah, serious stuff.
And we can say also that it started the dark, obscure genre. The music by Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard is groundbreaking and very loud. The script is very well built. All the actings are just breathtaking. That's why this movie grossed over 375 million worldwide and scored 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. And was also nominated for an Oscar for cinematography. Moving on, just to the greatest movie ever made, but also for sure one of the finest comic book movies, The Dark Knight. A movie that raised the bar in literally every level of movies. This masterpiece came out in 2008 and surprised everyone. No one was expecting this for a superhero movie. It was sort of a prestige movie, let's say. The performances, the directing, the cinematography, the music, the editing, and holy hell, everything works in this
movie. All right, now speaking about The Dark Knight. So, to be honest, I really don't think that this movie is just too good to be true as a comic book movie. So, The Dark Knight has one of the best character introductions in movie history, as the first scene introduces. Sorry, I'm just getting too emotional.
Okay, relax.
Joker to us.
Take a deep breath.
It's just so cool.
And move on.
So the representation of the character and what Heath Ledger has done with this character will leave you literally speechless. And sadly, I really don't think that we'll ever get the chance to know that how he brought this character like this to life. Now, I'm trying to not get ahead of myself. I think the plot is pretty clear. The Joker's out there. Our hero is chasing him. Gotta get him. So yeah. Also, a fun fact here is that most of the scenes of this movie are shot in IMAX with IMAX camera. That's a special camera. Especially that awesome scene in the tunnels where Batman is trying to protect that van where Harvey is. And in that exact scene, I think, they broke a huge and expensive IMAX camera.
No!
So there's that. And in the end, having 8 nominations for the Oscars and winning 2, including Best Sound Editing and Best Actor in Supporting Role, which tragically later passed away prior to the awards, is...
while he was filming Parnassus.
Oh, yes, he was in the middle of filming...
and they had to replace him with 3 other actors, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and... I don't remember the third one.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, moving on. Scoring 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and 1 billion worldwide shows that this movie has got it all and definitely does worth your time.
But now, let's talk about the third installment of the trilogy, which is The Dark Knight Rises, that takes place 8 years after the previous chapter. Batman has disappeared, the crime is eradicated from Gotham City, and the police is empowered, and the Wayne Enterprising is losing money to a discontinued massive reactor project by Bruce Wayne himself. Everything is everything is doing well, sorta.
Let's put it that way.
Okay, but a new bad guy, Tom Hardy's Bane, is on the loose, and a new burglar, Anne Hathaway's Selina Kyle, is interested in Bruce Wayne's plans. Dark Knight Rises received the most positive reviews from critics. Many have named it one of the best films of the 2012, which it also earned $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah, so now when Christopher Nolan was proposed to direct a third Batman movie, he hesitated, but then where his brother Jonathan offered to help him in the story, he
accepted.
He accepted. Now at the time it was they all said that this is a good superhero movie in general. It's a good movie, but as time passed, some said that maybe it's not that good, and people started to a bit hate it and say negative stuff about
It is a weird magic of internet now. Everybody hates something that it was good back then. Why? Why is that?
Also fun. Another fun fact is that this is a bit adapted. Charles Dickens' novel "A Tale of Two Cities."
Exactly. But time has a curious influence. But now let's talk about one other little curious fact.
Yeah.
Okay, in Italy, the movie is also known for the bad Bane's dubbing. In English, Tom Hardy sounds like an old man with a distorted voice, just like this one. But in Italian, he's dubbed not by a dubber, but by an actor who is not a dubber by profession. So there are
kind of ruined it.
Yeah, he kind of ruined it. There are hilarious scenes where he speaks like that. And now we have a clip of this this case which you can hear Bane in Italian.
Moving on to 2006 with The Prestige. Now this movie is prestige.
It's very
prestigious.
It's very prestigious.
It's very prestigious. Now this movie
Okay.
came right after Batman Begins in 2006, and let's just put it this way: that like Memento, this movie will blow your mind, right?
At the end, yeah.
So just let me put it this way: I gotta confess that I really love this sort of movies with this huge twist towards the end. Now the movie is based on a novel by the same name.
You can do this.
Yeah. The story follows Robert Angier, okay, played by Hugh Jackman, and Alfred Borden, played by Christian Bale. Rival stage magicians in London at the end of the 19th century, obsessed with creating the best stage illusion, becoming more and more obsessive and really in a bad way competitive in their magic. Now this is undeniably one of the underrated performances for both Bale and Jackman.
I agree.
In my opinion, at least. And they have done a great job portraying each characters. The whole cast, though, has done a great job. Michael Caine.
Wait, who?
No, not here, not here. I know what you're gonna do, but not here.
Oh.
Michael Caine.
Rebecca Hall.
Rebecca Hall. David Bowie as Nikola Tesla, surprisingly.
Which one? His was one of the most amazing entrance of the whole. He enters in this thunderstorm towards Hugh Jackman.
He's so
It's
cool
awesome.
in this movie, yeah. Although it's very short, his appearance,
Exactly.
but it's really cool.
And he doesn't speak a word.
He speaks some words, but he
Okay.
doesn't speak that much.
Yeah.
And then also there's Andy Serkis. But if you just in case you're wondering why I'm not mentioning Scarlett Johansson, because I really don't think that she's done such a huge job. She was just simply being herself.
Yeah, she had done better parts. The script will leave you scratching your head, but it's good as it can get. Nolan is doing a perfect job. The production, the costume design, the cinematography, the lighting, all of these elements are working together to build a perfect movie.
And yeah, it's at least in my opinion, this movie is perfect. Yeah, you heard me right. I think this movie is perfect.
Okay, her name is Hela, you know where she lives. Because at the end, we realized that not just the movie was about magic, but also the movie itself was magic right before our eyes, and Nolan was the magician all along. Throughout the whole movie, the character of Michael Caine was explaining each step of magic, and Nolan was doing the same to us. At the end, revealing that the magic that we were seeing throughout the whole movie, but we simply didn't observe or notice it. nor did we pay attention to. At the end, this movie grossed more than 109 million worldwide, scoring 75% of Rotten Tomatoes,
It
which
should be really more, to be honest. This is,
Exactly.
75% for this awesome movie. I mean, come on. And it was nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Art Direction and Best Cinematography. And trust me, this movie definitely does worth your time. Moving on to Inception, made in 2010. Inception is a very ambitious, dreamlike concept movie in which a team of people named the Extractors
sounds like a Transformers faction.
make espionage operating. Oh, that
Okay.
that
Uses
reminds me of spy-like movies. So yeah, it's cool. Operation using secret military technology to infiltrate their target's subconscious. Ooh, that's so awesome. And the objective is to plant an idea or an quote-unquote inception here into the target's mind to make them change perspective into the real world. Now, the movie stars a lot of well-known faces like Leo DiCaprio, Ken Watanabe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Marion Cotillard, Tom Hardy, Ellen Page, Cillian Murphy, and
no.
oh, let me do it.
Okay, go on.
Michael Caine.
Okay,
And
moving
Rotten
on.
Tomatoes. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes. This film has 86%, and they all has stated that this is a smart, innovative, and thrilling movie. Inception is that rare summer blockbuster that succeeds viscerally
As well.
as well as intellectually.
Because of its intricacies, subplots, and the enigmatic ending, the movie has gained a big popularity on the internet thanks to its Easter eggs and clues, which has made everybody get nuts trying to understand the whole thing. Some also believe that there is a detail in Leonardo DiCaprio's ring which subverts the whole real-world dream-like state dimension. Because there are some people who think that the throttle was not his totem, was called
What?
The totem.
Oh,
Which,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
somebody thinks that Leonardo DiCaprio's throttle was not his totem, but his ring was his totem. So when he wears the ring, is in a dream state, and when he's not, or
That's
is it
really
reverse?
complicated.
Yes.
And again, effing with our mind. Please move on.
Okay.
To something else. Please.
Inception is also well known for 2 iconic pieces of movie, which are Time by Hans Zimmer and Mind Heist, but which everybody thinks it's by Hans Zimmer, but it's actually by Zach Hemsey. And this one is the one music that nobody remembers the title of, but everybody associated with
So
Inception.
But, I mean, Hans Zimmer every time has done a great job with Christopher Nolan's movies. I mean, because I'm my huge goal is to be a filmmaker, and if one day I can be one and I can direct a movie, I really want Hans Zimmer to make the score of my movie. I mean, it's a huge thing for me. I love him. I love his work. Huge fan. And we're in 2014 with Interstellar, another film that will blow your mind again. Just in case that he doesn't do that all the time.
For good or bad.
So the plot at first seems pretty simple and pretty straightforward.
Seems. You said
Seems, yes, until you watch the movie. Now, our time on Earth is coming to an end. A team of explorers undertake the most important mission in human history, traveling beyond this galaxy through a wormhole to discover whether mankind has a future among the stars or not. The simple thing is that whether we can survive in another planet or not. Because we're ruining this one. Yeah, okay. The movie at some points gets really tricky and tries to play with your mind by using scientific phrases. Just imagine all those stuff about galaxies, wormholes, astronomy, etc. But you have to stay focused on the aesthetics of the movie. Again, great job by Nolan, not just as a director but also as a screenwriter alongside his brother Jonathan. Also, huge shout out to VFX team, which their work is really astonishing. And don't even let me start on the music, because again,
It's too loud!
done by the awesome, amazing Hans Zimmer, the soundtrack of this movie will engage all of your emotions all at once. You want to shout, you want to cry, you want to smile. It's definitely one of the best soundtracks, and of course, one of the emotional ones.
When it came out, I called it the Festival of Science Fiction because I caught a lot of references, and one that I swear nobody got. There was in the beginning of the movie when Matthew McConaughey and his family with John Lithgow went to a baseball match, and there was a shot which John Lithgow says, let's get a hot dog. I like hot dogs. I said, this is not made by randomly or by mistake, because it's a reference to 2010, the sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey, in which John Lithgow and the main character, I don't remember the actor, I'm sorry, talked about hot dogs that they miss so much. Nobody else noticed this. Nobody else.
Mind blowing again.
Okay, there are some moments that you can't even blink. There are moments that will leave you gasping, and there are shocking and jaw-dropping moments too.
It is.
Yes,
it is.
It's you start to care so much for Matthew McConaughey character and his family back in Earth. McConaughey's performance in this movie is,
in my opinion, at least, Oscar worthy.
Oscar worthy. The movie has a sort of all-star cast with McConaughey as the main character, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine, and another huge name talent that I'm not gonna say because it's a spoiler.
Yes, we're not gonna go there. You gotta watch the movie.
Exactly. At the end, this movie did well, both at the box office, grossing more than 6,077 billions worldwide. Millions, sorry, not billions. And 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was also nominated for Best Original Score, Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing.
71% Rotten Tomatoes, it's really low. It gotta be more. This movie is mind-blowing. It's awesome. How could you do that, critics? I mean, the first time I watched this movie, I cried 2 times. Overall, this movie is definitely worth your time. It's perfect. No, not perfect. No, not perfect. It's almost perfect. It's not 100%. All right, moving on to 2017 with Dunkirk. Or
Drunk Kirk.
That's a joke. We couldn't just not say it.
No, it's so beautiful.
No, still up to now, this is the latest movie he's done. And it's the result of 25 years of planning. He wanted to make a movie about the evacuation of
Dunkirk.
Thank you. During the Second World War, and he ended up making a particular kind of war movie. It's really specific. He did not just portray big heroes and main characters doing great stuff or winning the war. Actually, the story is more focused on soldiers or very ordinary men thrown inside this nightmare-fueled dimension, which is war. Now, a complex fusion of bittersweet heroism, desperate self-preservation, and corrosive survival guilt, morphed all into this war movie, which is some sort of a survival thriller. It's all smooshed together. Now, instead, this is a conventional, or as everyone say, it's a war movie, but it's more than that, actually.
Exactly. To do so, Nolan chose to divide Dunkirk. Sorry, Dunkirk. Because it's stuck into my mind.
Never gets old.
Okay. Nolan chose to divide the movie into 3 storylines following different characters each at the same time, but connecting all of them in the end. We stick with the Allies forces all the time. We don't even see the German in person. So to create this presence of terror, this evil force which terrorize all the protagonists, Dunkirk received praise for its screenplay, direction, musical score, and cinematography. Some critics called it Nolan's best film to date, and one of the best.
I'm sorry, but I'm not with that.
No, me neither. Me neither.
Okay.
It's not his best.
Good, we're on the same page. Okay.
Exactly. on Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval of 92%. But right after his space epic Interstellar, Nolan made a documentary movie about the QA brothers, stop-motion artists. But even though he planned it since the mid-90s, he decided to make Dunkirk after his other massive movie because he wasn't feeling artistically ready to do it, or he didn't accumulate enough experience, which is kind of ironic, but also shows humility from him. Cheers to that!
And we're in the end of our journey. So we almost have talked about all. We have talked about all of the 10 movies of Christopher Nolan, but we have just scratched the surface because, of course, breaking down just the Dark Knight trilogy
would take hours to do it.
I mean, really, there are just many references and stuff to point out. And so, yeah, we just scratched the surface, literally.
Yeah, if we had to scratch every single one of them, we would need a month, maybe. But not just 4 episodes.
We would definitely need more than just one show.
Yeah, of course.
This one is not enough.
No, we would need a show for each film.
So, yeah, of course, what is pretty obvious is that he's a visionary director who, as a matter of fact, is his favorite director is Stanley Kubrick. So I think you can see the pattern there.
And I see you can see the references in Interstellar.
Definitely. What we also see a lot in his movies are also very sad. Emotional.
Michael Caine. Many dead wives.
Many dead wives. And we are just saying this out of laughs. Also, credits for these jokes to Screen Junkies. We all know that how talented he is.
Yes,
and we just want him to continue work.
Yeah, we can't wait to see his next project, which can be made by him or him by him and his brother as well.
His brother is also genius. I mean, look, he is one of the writers and creators of Westworld. I mean, just oh my God!
I made my degree thesis on Westworld. No, I'm not joking. Last year, no, in. A couple of years ago, I made it, and I didn't have the box set of the first season, so I had to scratch the internet in search of anything. And when it came out too late because I already.
You already knew everything was spoiler already?
No, I already graduated. Okay. So the university was done, but I bought it anyway. So because I loved so much the first season, I could not have it.
Oh my God! The season finale was
beautiful, and then they ruined it all with the second season.
Yeah, second season was not as good. Really.
It was very messy. Because on the first season you have, for example, the Man in Black. He wants the robot to be natural, to react. In the end of the first season, he gets that. But at the beginning of the second season, he wants to destroy the whole place. What the hell is going on? Why did you change so much?
And destroying a very good character, to be honest.
No,
so this was the show about Christopher Nolan, filmography, directing, everything. We tried to break down his career. And thank you everyone who listened to our show, who has been with us.
But before we get out of the program,
just saying goodbye, we have to let you know we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Roma 3 Radio, and also
you can find us on the streaming service on the website radio.uniroma3.it and on the application TuneIn Radio, which you can find us on Roma 3 Radio.
This is Helga, the Bluehead, and
Jeff Lynne. No, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm kidding. Giulio.
Okay, no jokes. Until the next time, everybody.
Bye.